I'm conscious that I'm standing in a room amongst many of the giants of public health and real pioneers of oral health that shared a friendship, knowledge and an admiration for Aubrey. I'm also very conscious that many of the superlatives have already been used about the man that added a superlative to my life, and I'm very grateful because I honestly believe that I would not have had my eyes opened and embarked on a career profile that brought me to the very fortunate position of being able to work with you as we continue Aubrey's work in improving oral health, in my case within the footprint of England, but working with the chief dental officers across Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales. For many of us, our achievements here are truly testament to Aubrey's mentorship and his guiding hand. We've heard about the pursuit of the quality of evidence, and indeed he set for us a standard that caused us first of all to pause and think, am I really up to that? And then he gave us the confidence to step up and move away from the ordinary and strive for the extraordinary. And that's why I'm truly honoured to speak on behalf of many students that had the good fortune to study under Aubrey. And whilst he was an admired mentor, he was a man of many achievements, but being a friend and a guide through life and the future of the oral health of our nation, that is why I sit here, stand here, honoured, but speaking on behalf of many. Aubrey's eminence as a scientist was a man whose interest clearly extended well beyond oral health and into public health, and that's really well documented. But what you can't document on paper is that real nidus of inspiration that he offered us, and importantly, the aspiration to do good and be a force for good, to create change, often through constructive challenge to orthodoxy. He was a great communicator, although not everyone wanted to listen to what he had to say. He was a man that could challenge orthodoxy, and he did so with vision and passion. For me, it was the contagion of inquiry that he gave, a champion of evidence who could certainly thwart any attempt of contention, and having been vivaed by Aubrey, sometimes that mere raise of an eyebrow and the wrinkle of the lip, you knew you were on the wrong track. Whether Aubrey was meeting a small group of MSc students for the first time, or challenging a lecture hall full of sceptical dental colleagues, he was also always thought-provoking. As I said, a man with an infectious courage of conviction that had and did and will do affect everyone that has the good fortune to read what he's written or reflect on a path crossed, or indeed for many of those that contemplated crossing swords with him. He was that accomplished master of the art of research, with an academic integrity that made him a daunting opponent in any debate. He could and would dispatch assertion or vested interest with fact, logic and intellectual rigour. To his students, Aubrey would deliver time and again that aha moment as you got scales dropping from your sceptical eyes. And certainly for me in the January of my MSc year, the penny really dropped, just when Aubrey knew it would do. And he and Richard took great delight, I remember at the end of that term going, we knew you'd get there eventually. His legacy of inspiration and aspiration is clearly manifest across the dental landscape, both national and international. Many of his former students were really inspired to take up the strategic and political challenge, many rising to career highs, leading their profession, shaping health policy, influencing political opinion, and establishing good oral health as an integral element of general health. His impact cannot be underestimated as a man and a mentor. Students of health science often say that luck combined with circumstances dictates the direction in which you find yourself turning. And as I've said, I share with many here today the good luck and great fortune to have found myself embarking on a journey into dental public health with Aubrey as my guide and mentor. I'd first come across him when his arguably contentious paper was published. This was prior to my student days, back in 1977. But it was during my undergraduate training that Aubrey's real contention about improving oral health and the need to focus on social policy, as well as revolutionise the Clinical Delivery Support Act, this sort of manifesto really chimed with us, certainly with those that realised there was a lot more to dentistry than just amalgam and acrylic, turbines and forceps. Aubrey's challenge to orthodoxy, and indeed the word that was used earlier on, radicalism, resonated with us, the new generation of practitioners. Were we going to be dental surgeons? Were we going to be dental practitioners? Or were we going to move to an oral physician arena? Or were we all destined to be delivering good oral health and prevention of part of a commissioned service, not just fee-for-item drilling and filling? His willingness to speak truth to power created discomfort within the ranks, and indeed for many his hypothesis was beyond their imagination, if not ours. And we junior members of the profession watched expectantly on the sidelines as Aubrey found himself working, nay, battling against headwinds. He'd riled the established dental profession as well as the food lobby, particularly the sugar industry. And I think for us, whilst others may have found the resistance from the establishment intolerable, as we've heard, Aubrey quietly stayed profoundly true to his principles, and we found our role model. Aubrey didn't seek notoriety or accolade, but is clearly deserving of the acknowledgement that he was a man ahead of his time, and as we've heard, was proved time again, if notably by the 2004 NICE guidelines, and of course now, the political acknowledgement of the impact of sugar on health. We all knew the truth, we just needed the politicians to take action. And that action is testament to his exemplar of strength of character, conviction, and passionate belief. I suppose if I look back now, we didn't realise it at the time, but Aubrey was the moral compass for our profession. And against a background of opposition, he had inspired and continues to inspire a vanguard of associates. We'll head out and we're going to forge new evidence-based pathways to our true north. He was the one that reorientated the oral health map. He was the one that gave opportunities to other like-minded individuals to either follow in his footsteps or take heart and pursue complementary avenues. These were enticing, exciting, but were always going to be exacting. The three most significant complementary avenues that Aubrey plotted out, at a time when sugar was, as you say, given a free pass. His pioneering advocacy emphasised the importance of diets low in sugar. He placed himself at the public health forefront on the harmful effects of sugar. He played the central role in keeping the evidence of sugar and dental caries before the policymakers, again, even when they didn't want to hear. But by staying abreast of the developing evidence on sugar-sweetened beverages and obesity, he became grist to our mill, and his tireless work set the conditions for success today. The second and third avenues offered by Aubrey were a major departure from the dental profession's traditional focus on technological advancement and specialisation, the individual practice or the individual patient. No, Aubrey offered us population thinking, and in particular the social determinants of oral health. Groundbreaking stuff. And his pioneering advocacy for whole population thinking, rather than just focusing on high-risk groups and just applying epidemiological concepts of prevention, was a more radical approach than we had come across before. He fostered broader understandings that took us beyond oral health into the common risk factors shared with general health. And these bridges are vital between the dental community and other healthcare professionals, certainly as we are now striving to get oral health on the healthcare agenda, of every other social and healthcare worker out there. There is a public appreciation of Aubrey, and again, the publications are testament to that. But it's the man behind the scientist, the inspirational teacher, supervisor and mentor. Would we really be questioning the orthodoxy today if we hadn't had him as a senior academic, his challenging, unique, courageous, visionary contention of what we should be doing, not just what we could be doing? In summing up, I see Aubrey, as my true north, and also a true pioneer for our profession. Selfless commitment? Absolutely. Integrity? Absolutely. Respect for others and respected by others. He did as much as anyone to put the inequalities in dental health on the intellectual and policy map. But what he did was he nailed it. The pivotal relevance that we have now in a world of constant change and challenge is due to him. And Aubrey remains our impetus. We have both example and driving force as we maintain his advocacy for critically analysed, evidence-based oral health care. And we can continue to realise his ambition and the profession's ambition in taking forward integrated oral health and dental care strategy for our patients and the next generation of patients. So that we have pondered, thought, contemplated, but will always be thankful that we benefited from Aubrey's time, that we were touched by his inspiration. We have much to thank this genial, benevolent, humble, outspoken, optimistic, kind, and remarkable man that influenced our lives, whether it be for a year of intimate study, years of PhD study, the man who was the first person that I notified of my good fortune of taking my new post. He expects a lot of us. We took a lot from him, and we owe it to him to continue with the preventive philosophy and to promote his work both today, tomorrow, and to inspire the next generation as he inspired us. I'm truly grateful to have known the man, and I'm truly grateful to have had him as a mentor, and I think that many in this room will share the same sentiment. Thank you.